Explosive Epstein photos released. Trump, Clinton, Gates exposed. Trump condoms for $4.50. Dems bombshell on Epstein friend. Bombshell reveal: Trump seen in group shot with 6 women. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee have once again released new photos recovered from late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's estate, and these images show just how many powerful figures once moved through his circle. Among them are President Donald Trump, ex-President Bill Clinton, mega-influencer Steve Bannon, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, business magnate Richard Branson, and several others. None of the photos show any sexual misconduct. None are believed to involve underage girls, but together they paint a picture of just how far Epstein's influence once spread. The collection includes 19 images, and each one raises more questions. One photo shows a bowl of novelty condoms featuring a caricature of Donald Trump, labeled Trump Condom $4.50, with packaging that reads, "I'm huge." Another image shows Trump surrounded by 6 women wearing garlands of flowers, their faces hidden for privacy. Meanwhile, Steve Bannon is seen posing for a mirror photo with Epstein. And then there's Bill Clinton with Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and another couple. In another image, Bill Gates stands beside the former and disgraced Prince Andrew. These photos, the committee says, came directly from the estate, which is part of a massive evidence treasure that includes tens of thousands of documents, emails, and communications. And the investigation is far from over. Lawyers for the Epstein estate told the committee they can review videos and photographs taken at any Epstein property from 1990 until Epstein's death in 2019. They warned the batch includes images that may not be clearly tied to Epstein locations, but unless a picture was confirmed not to be from his properties, it was turned over. Congressman Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, issued a stark statement, saying the latest batch includes over 95,000 photos, with images of high-profile men, thousands of women, and Epstein's various estates. "It is time to end this White House cover-up," Garcia said. "These disturbing photos raise even more questions. We will not rest until the American people get the truth," he added. Notably, many of the men seen in the photos have denied any wrongdoing. Clinton's spokesperson says he cut ties with Epstein years before Epstein's arrest and knew nothing of his crimes. A spokesperson for Gates has said Epstein never worked for him, and Gates has publicly called meeting Epstein a huge mistake. Trump has repeatedly emphasized that he expelled Epstein from Mar-a-Lago and did nothing wrong. But emails released earlier show Epstein often mentioned Trump in private messages, sometimes offering analysis, sometimes gossip, sometimes asserting insight into America's future president. As more images and documents come out, the question grows louder. How deep did Epstein's network really go? And who, if anyone, is still hiding the truth?
Washington is staring into the abyss of Jeffrey Epstein's island empire again. But this time, with pictures and videos the world has never seen. A room with a dentist-style chair, masks on the wall, a landline with handwritten names, some redacted by investigators, others names like Darren, Rich, Mike, Patrick, Larry, visible. Another room with a giant blackboard with scribbles like power, deception, plants, music. Again, some of the writing redacted. The tranche of previously unpublished images and footage released by House Democrats on the Oversight Committee from Little St. James, the place survivors long called the epicenter of Epstein's crimes. The rooms, the objects, the details, suddenly visible. The newly released clips walk us into an island dressed like a luxury retreat. A winding oceanfront path, manicured palms, a resort-style pool, interiors that look curated, for comfort and control. Then the unsettling shift, a dentist-style chair parked in a stark room, masks pinned to the walls, bedrooms and bathrooms stripped bare and yet somehow still haunting, and then the now infamous landline telephone, a relic of a pre-smartphone era. On its speed dial buttons, Darren, Rich, Mike, Patrick, Larry, first names only, the kind of familiarity investigators have been trying to decode for years. But the strangest, perhaps most chilling object is a blackboard. Words scrawled like the scribbles of someone mapping an empire. Power, deception, plots, political, written like thoughts, unexplained. Investigators redacted several names from the phone and board, women's names, blurred out of an abundance of caution. But the meaning remains unmistakable. This island wasn't a hideaway. It was an operating system. Rep. Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, called the images a disturbing look into the world of Jeffrey Epstein. He said the point of releasing them is public transparency and to piece together the full picture of Epstein's horrific crimes. This comes just days after President Donald Trump signed a bill forcing the Justice Department to release its own Epstein files. Those documents, thousands of pages, could drop any day now, and the political earthquake that follows may rewrite parts of America's modern history. Epstein privately owned 2 islands in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Little St. James and Great St. James. Little St. James, called Little St. Jeff's, is where most of the abuse is believed to have taken place. For survivors, these aren't just pictures, they're proof of the environment, the secrecy, the architecture of a trafficking machine masquerading as a billionaire's tropical retreat. Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most prominent victims, wrote in her posthumous memoir that she was trafficked on the island at 18. Her account is graphic, wrenching, and chilling. She says she was handed to a man who raped me more savagely than anyone had before. None of the redacted names in today's images confirm any identities, but the island story, long whispered, long denied, is being forced into daylight. The U.S. Virgin Islands have become a mine of information for investigators. The paper trail is sprawling. The House Oversight Committee has already subpoenaed J.P. Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank. Investigators believe Epstein's money could reveal a new wealth of information about who enabled him, protected him, and benefited from him. Tens of thousands of documents from the Epstein estate have already opened new lines of inquiry, and the push continues. The newly released images and videos don't solve the case. They don't identify the names on that phone. They don't unlock the secrets scribbled on that blackboard. But they pierce the veil of an island designed to stay hidden. They force the world to look, and they are a reminder that this investigation is only accelerating.